We're here with Professor Arun Sundararajan from NYU Stern School of Business and author of The Sharing Economy. Professor, talk to us a little bit about the evolving compact or contract between organization and employee in a share economy.
Well, the sharing economy is taking us away from corporations that hire people as full-time employees and towards platforms that are hybrids between organizations and markets and that have a fundamentally different relationship with providers, where it moves from I work for you full-time in exchange for money to I run my small business through you, sort of like a micro-franchisee. Now, in this scenario, we have to completely redefine the funding model for the social contract that we've constructed over the last 100 years. Think about an employee at a company. They get some money in exchange for the work they do, but a lot of additional money gets spent on health insurance, gets spent on making sure that you get the same amount of money every month, making sure that you have protections against accidents, making sure that you get other benefits, making sure that you have some money put away to retirement. This isn't free money. It's being paid for by the company in exchange for you working for them full-time. Now, when the relationship changes from I work for you full-time to I am running a small business through you, that funding model breaks down and we have to reconstruct it. We have to create ways in which the individual, the platform, and the government collectively can start to realize some of these aspirations that every individual has. They want stability, they want protections in the workplace, they want a plan for the future, and they want benefits. I think it's a mistake to think of this as the government's problem or as the platform's responsibility or as the individual's responsibility. It's a joint problem. It's a multi-stakeholder solution that we're looking for here because no one party here, the government can't fund the entire social safety net in the United States.
The government could regulate it, right? The government could say if you're going to have this type of company, independent contractors have to have these types of benefits or rights, or it feels like someone's going to have to take the lead here.
Yeah, well, what the government needs to do is to lay the groundwork to extend the things that are attached to just full-time employment to other models of work. Because full-time employment is on its way out. It's not just an independent contractor model that it's on its way in. It's sort of something in between the independent contractor and the full-time employee. And so we've got to free companies from the shackles of, I give benefits to my full-time employees and I'm worried about giving benefits to my independent contractors because if I give them anything, then I'm going to be slapped with a class action lawsuit that claims that they are employees. We've got to sort of we've got this backwards where a company like Uber, if they want to try and retain their drivers by giving them something better than Lyft gives them, they're going to hesitate because this is going to attract a class action lawsuit. A company like Handy, if they want to train their providers to do a better job, they're going to shy away from that because training is something that's associated with full-time employment.
So let me give you a contrarian view, and that is Uber has figured out a way to take CEO compensation from 250 times the average employee to $1 million. And the way they've been able to figure that out is they've said to their 1.5 million quote-unquote driver partners, i.e. independent contractors, we figured out an elegant way that none of you participate in the massive value creation of $61 billion. It's just the 5 of the 8,000 employees and the couple dozen investors that get to split the $61 billion. Whereas people at Ford and General Motors do, in fact, in my opinion, share in some of the equity upside. It feels to me like this massive shell game or sleight of hand to exclude the primary workforce from the real fun here, the real equity value. Any thoughts?
See, I think that that's going to evolve into a model where providers like the drivers are going to have a greater ownership stake in whatever platform they are using to create value. We've already seen a competitor, Juno, emerge in New York that promises equity to its drivers. So the market will take
cooperatives and other people saying we'll give you 80 or 90% of the commission now. It seems like the market is bringing driver compensation up.
Yep. So the market is bringing driver compensation up, but the market may not be enough. I fully expect that drivers will form collectives, successors to the unions of the 50s and the 60s, that will preserve some of their bargaining power because they're also facing the threat of automation. The capital labor substitution starts to get more fluid as autonomous vehicles start to become a reality. And so it's a challenging labor environment for people who drive for Uber. But the solution isn't to make them full-time employees. The solution is to create a structure where independent contractors can get some of the benefits and some of the stability from the platform, from themselves, from the government, that full-time employees are exclusively enjoying now. And they can organize in a way that allows them to preserve some collective bargaining power, because these platforms, whether it's Uber, whether it's Juno, whether it's Lyft, they're going to get a lot bigger.
So another thesis, and you tell me where I got this right or wrong, it feels to me that when you have access to all these pools of labor demand with your smartphone, whether it's Uber or Hello Alfred or Handy, what have you, gives people a ton of access to the labor markets. My Uber drivers, I'm consistently meeting a grandfather who wouldn't have access to the labor markets who has it now. So great for employment, terrible for wages, because it's bringing in all this flexible excess supply, right? So won't the sharing economy at its broadest level result in a surge in employment but stagnation of wages?
Well, in the short term, we've got an uptick in the amount of labor that's available. But as you have more labor available, you're going to produce more. And so wages may go down a little in the short run, but then they'll start to go up again as people start to use the service more.
So you think demand, because of the great value proposition, demand will go up?
Yeah, demand will go up, and there's a big constraint here, which is that these are very geography-specific services. I can't tap into 10 million Uber drivers in India to offer service in LA. So this is not like software, this is not like copy editing.
So you see the glass is half full around the employee.
Yeah, I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
There you go. Yeah, well, that makes one of us. Professor Arun Sundararajan from NYU Stern School of Business. The book is The Sharing Economy.